3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Queen Stage. We're here to spotlight the athletes, stories, and action in women's cycling, giving the sport the attention it deserves. And we're going to do so with the quality, depth, and personality the sport demands.
I'm Rosario Torres Davis.
I'm Betsy Welch.
I'm Anna Maria Rook.
And I'm Molly Herford.
Hello and welcome to a special bonus episode of The Queen Stage. I'm your host, Anna Maria Rook, and today I am joined by a very special guest as we get ready for the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift this Saturday. Lining up for her very first tour will be American rider Heidi Franz. Now, I've known Heidi since she was just a college student in Seattle. We were teammates before she made it to the big leagues, and I've had the absolute privilege of watching her chase her cycling dreams ever since. However, her journey has been anything but easy or straightforward. After racing for Rally and Insfant in the US, she signed her first European contract in ahead of 2023, only to see her team, B&B Hotels, collapse before it even started. And this started a bit of a trend of bad luck for Heidi, who ended up joining 4 teams in just 3 years, largely due to financial struggles and financial mismanagement of teams at the Pro Conti level. Luckily, Heidi never gave up on her dreams and she kept believing in herself. And in 2026, she has found a very happy home at the St Michel preference home Auber 93 cycling team. And next week, she will finally fulfill her lifelong dream of racing at the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift. In this episode, we talked about the setbacks, the resilience it took to keep going, and what it means to finally be at cycling's biggest stage. Enjoy. Heidi, congratulations on your first tour.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are you so excited?
I'm so excited. Yeah.
I mean, this is something you've been working towards for a while.
Yeah, for I guess 9 years since since my first year in the Pro Peloton in 2018. That's kind of what I dreamt about, was getting to the tour, even before it came back. So
it's like even before there was a tour, to be able to race at the highest stage.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, Heidi Franz here races for St Michel Preference Home Auber 93, or St Michel as we will call it for the rest of this episode. How many teams, Heidi, have you been on throughout those 9 years?
That's a great question. I have been on, I was on Rally for 4 years, and then I had a year on InstaFund in 2022. Then in 2023, I was on, I technically was never on B&B Hotels because it didn't exist. So, but I'll count it. So that's B&B Hotels, and then Zaaf, and then DN'A, all in 2023. So that was 3. And then in 2024, I was on Plus Wahoo, and then no team for the second half of that year, and then Cynisca in 2025, and now St Michel.
It's been such a journey of this perseverance and commitment on your end, and just royal bad luck on the other end. Are you happy at St Michel?
Yeah, I'm so happy, and it's like I think I still can't really comprehend just how wild the story is to arrive here, to arrive at the tour, like the race I've dreamed of doing my whole career, on a team that I'm really happy with and really happy in, and like with such great support. I mean, we can go into this later too, but like Scratch Labs has been so instrumental in making this happen for me and for my American teammate Caroline, and just really changing the team in so many great ways. So just bringing such a great atmosphere and mentality of curiosity and trying new things to just make all of us better. I mean, I can't comprehend like how cool it is to arrive here in this way. Like, it's just so cool.
Yeah. Can you back up a little for our listeners that don't know your story? Like, take us back to the day or the week that you were moving to Girona.
I had been slated to join B&B Hotels Paris cycling, as it was going to be called, at the end of 2022. So I plan to move out of my house in Seattle, where I lived with my husband and my brother. And my husband, Wade, and I were going to move our whole lives over to Girona at the start of 2023, which really on New Year's Eve was our flight over. And I had booked a flight in earlier December to join a team camp that was supposed to happen. So on December 6th, I got a call from my eventual teammate on another team, Audrey Cordon-Rigaud, and she told us it was a big group call with the whole team. And she informed us that the team was in fact collapsing, and that B&B Hotels would not go forward. And this was 6 hours before my flight was actually supposed to take off. So we had already, there were boxes everywhere. Like we're, packing our stuff up to move and put all of our things in the attic. Like, yeah, we were ready to go. And yeah, I basically, in short, just had to decide to get on the plane anyways and see what could happen. I figured the best place I could put myself is in Europe, in Girona, where, that's where the community is. And I was like, I just thought, okay, worst case scenario, like I go to Girona and I find a team and I just work on the ground there and try to make this happen, because like we've done all the work. We like got our visas, and that was like a whole other process and source of stress. And so we got all this stuff done. We're like, no, we're committed. We need to see where this goes. And that was just the start. I mean, yeah, I joined Zaaf like 3 days later, and was, leaving that team in like 3 months later, 4 months later, with no salary, no payments or anything. And so, yeah, the journey had just really begun from there. Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a crazy, crazy journey. Can you tell us a little bit about how St Michel happened? Like when did you get that contract, that offer? And did you know that you're going to be set for at least this season?
Yeah. I mean, that process started actually probably in 2024 was when I first had contact with them. I was speaking to Roxane Fournier while I was at Worlds in Zurich, actually. And so St Michel almost folded also in 2024. They had a loss of one of their big partners in their budget, and all the rumors were swirling and things were kind of setting it up to go down as well. And then in September, Roxane reached out and she said, hey, like the team is going to continue, and we're really interested in you. Like, can we set up a call? So I ended up not having a call with them, but I just sent them everything I had. And then ultimately, actually the day of the World Championships, I heard that they weren't going to take me in 2025. And I was like,
Dang.
man, all right, here we go again. But they were always on my radar, and Roxane was also supposed to be my teammate on B&B Hotels. So I felt like I felt like she had thought of me and had kept me in the back of her mind. And so in 2025, last year, sort of in the summer, I reached out to her again and we started conversations. But really nothing was finalized and nothing was a done deal until December. And actually, like, it wouldn't have happened unless Scratch Labs had come on as a sponsor. I mean, in a way, like Caroline and I came to the team because they needed a couple extra riders, and Scratch was coming on as the nutrition partner and sort of sports science partner as well with Dr. Alan Lim. And they made it possible for us to be in the team. So yeah, it was really like a nail biting story up until the very end. So.
But that has been your career every season thus far. Like, how do you keep going?
Yeah, that's a great question. It felt like every year my resilience and sort of what I could tolerate, like, got better and better. Like maybe for the detriment, but I every time I thought I was going to reach my limit, suddenly something would come through or something would happen. And there was just that little glimmer of hope to say, like, all right, all this work has not been for nothing. Like, you can continue. And to be honest, I really felt so strongly that the tour was like always sort of this compass. I just felt so determined to get there. And it kind of goes back to 2018. My first coach asked me, like, what do you want to do in the sport? And it was the first time anyone had ever asked me that question, right when I signed for Rally in 2018. And I was like, it was actually the first time in really anything that I had done with my life where someone was like, really think big, like think as big as you can. And I was like, I want to race the tour. When the tour comes back, that's where I want to get to. That's what I want to do. And I think sometimes that was in my head and sometimes it wasn't. And it was probably sort of like guiding my decisions here and there sometimes. But ultimately, I think that was like my biggest motivation.
I mean, that's wild. I'm just picturing you going about your day-to-day training and just trying to like just scrounge up the motivation, just get out there and train for the unknown, right? You didn't know what you were going to be racing and what you were training for. And I find that extremely impressive that you're able to dig that deep and just hold on to the hope that one day you'll be lining up as you will be on Saturday.
Yeah. I think when I was sort of in the thick of it and everything else surrounding me was unknown, actually training was the only known quantity that I could point to and say, okay, I know I can do this in front of me, so I'm going to do that. And I remember in 2023, like there was only 1 or 2 days where I told my coach, like, I can't do this ride today. Like I'm so spent mentally that I just can't do it. I remember that happening like only twice. And the rest of the year I was like, I'm putting my head down. I'm just going to do it because this is what I can hold on to, is riding my bike and enjoying that. And I think ultimately that's kind of what allowed me to keep going and eventually, find other teams, keep proving that I belonged there. And then, regardless of whether that team survived, I could still survive and keep going. Yeah.
How's it feel now to be so close to the start and to know, you're on this team, you've got your kit, you're getting ready for a very momentous occasion.
Yeah. It feels different. It's unlike any other pre-race feelings I've ever had. It's like, I think it's just like bubbly excitement at the moment. I mean, I'm really nervous. I know it's going to be the hardest thing I've ever done in my career, like getting through this whole race. And part of me is like, well, we'll see how long you make it. But I'm like, okay, I know I have some resilience. So
that you do.
And I love stage racing, and I'm just I'm relying on that resilience to get me through what's going to be the hardest race I ever do. And I just have to keep reminding myself that I'm honestly surrounded by the best support that I've ever had in a team. And like, that's what I've always dreamed of, is to be able to go to a race and just feel relaxed and not stressed about all the other details, just to get myself there, I just have to get on the bus and remember my shoes and my helmet and my skin suit and just go. And that's also the other thing I always dreamed of. And we're getting both. So
it's wild because I obviously remember you when you were just a college student. I don't think you even had road pedals. There was something about shoes. I remember something in my memory. You didn't even have proper shoes, and here you are, getting ready for the women's Tour de France like that.
You gave me, Rook, you gave me my first pair of road shoes. So
I'm so glad I did.
And your hand-me-down bag, like
it's wild.
Yeah.
Like at the time, like you just, you meet a very strong young rider and you're like, cool, bring him on the team. But you don't picture them lining up for the tour years later, especially not after such an arduous journey. So, yeah, massive congratulations to you. And also, like, wow, what perseverance you've shown just to
Thanks.
get to the start line.
Thank you.
So, tell me about the tour. Like, what stages are you excited about? Which ones strike fear in you?
Well, I'm actually excited that the tour this year is maybe a bit more breakaway friendly. At least that's what I hope. I feel like the first few stages, with a lot of opportunities to go after QOM points. There's only one sprint on the first day, so yeah, it's like obviously the biggest reward for the green jersey in the sprints are at the finishes. So I feel like the first few stages I'm really looking forward to. They're a bit more punchy. We don't hit the big mountains yet. So those are definitely stages that are more suited to me. And I'm motivated to just see what is it like to like go for QOM points at the tour, you know? That's going to be crazy because everyone will be motivated for it. Like this will be so different where everyone will want that jersey, no matter what jersey it is. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And also my parents are going to be out for the first few stages and my husband will be there. And, yeah, so I'm just excited.
Okay, so
Yeah.
points. Is there? I mean, tell me about Vaughan too. That's a big stage. Have you recce'd? Have you ridden it before?
So I've actually raced up Vaughan 2, but not the side or like the way that we're doing it this year. In 2018 at Ardèche, we actually raced up Vaughan 2, but we finished at like the Petite Vaughan 2 summit.
Oh.
And I just remember being out of the saddle for like an hour straight. So, yeah. But to be honest, like everything else before Vaughan 2 is going to be the main thing on that stage. I mean, we were in Boulder for our training camp, and we were doing a lot of like race simulations and sort of training days that mimicked what we might have at this race. To get as similar to a stage as we could. And we were doing like a lead out up Left Hand Canyon up to Jamestown and then up Super James, if anyone's familiar, to do this like Vaughan 2 lead out. But in my head, I'm thinking, I don't think we're going to have the whole team with us by the time we get to Vaughan 2. I think a lot of racing is going to happen before that point. So, yeah, it'll be really hard, and it's going to be so hot. We've been preparing in a lot of heat for the last month, 2 months actually. So hopefully that's okay.
You guys are training and very seriously. You've got some great sports science involved. You did this training camp that was very extensive for a smaller team. That's kind of unique. It's a unique opportunity. So you as a team like are taking this quite seriously. What maybe you can share a little bit with our listeners, like how important is a race like the Tour for a team like St Michel?
Yeah, well, so our team finished last, like in all the team classifications last year. This team was the last team. And for a French team to finish last at the Tour, it's like it's a little embarrassing, right? I think they really wanted to step it up, and we kind of this year with a lot of changes and this like an exciting roster, the mentality has really been like let's kind of start from scratch, like pun intended, I guess, because I mean they approached this year with such curiosity and willingness to try new things, which like for a French team, I think is so unique. And that's the same approach that we're going into the Tour with, is like we're kind of the underdog story, and we can only go up from here. You know, like the team was last place last year. We gotta like, let's go and see what we can do with a more investment in our performance and the way we do things, what we focus on, whether that's like really, measuring our hydration, knowing how much sodium we're losing in our sweat, like all the stuff that's really like Scratch has brought to the table for this team, I think is really cool. And that was sort of the big theme of our training camp as well. And such a unique opportunity for those Europeans to go to the US, like for a training camp. That's like unheard of. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and this team too, it's a very important team for North American riders, Canadians and Americans, because, historically, those riders are underrepresented at the World Tour, let alone at the Tour. What has it been like at this team? Like, what is the atmosphere like? It's obviously a French team, but with a North American flair a little bit as well.
Yeah. It's been really fun to be part of this team. I think we North Americans, like coming into it, we're really excited to like really learn French. And like, I mean, really, Allison and I were like, we've got a streak on Duolingo, like a friend streak on Duolingo that is really strong, like 200 plus days. We really went into it super motivated to kind of embrace like what being on a French team can be like, with a lot of French staff, a lot of French riders. And I think we have such a great mix of personalities and riders in the team. Like we really get along so well. And the young riders, the experienced riders, there's really like there's no big ego. I think everyone is so willing to learn from each other. And there's like just a really wonderful foundation of respect amongst everybody, which is so rare. Like it's one of the first times I've had that in a team that, at this level too, it's really special to be part of. I think it's quite rare to have that environment. And yeah, I mean, from top to bottom, the team is just full of really kind people. I think that's like really the foundation of it. And that's really special too. So it makes me motivated to, speak to them better in their language. Like I want to learn French, and they also want to improve their English amongst the staff, and like really meet each other in the middle. So it's pretty unique.
That's great. And obviously maybe give them something exciting to cheer for at the race next week. Knowing you, if nothing else, I can see you walk away with a combative award or two. I think that's right up your alley. What are the non-race things that you're looking forward to?
I'm really excited to see all the people out, like the atmosphere of the tour. I was actually at the tour on the ground last year with like a fundraising trip for USA Cycling. And that was the first time I'd been around the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift. And I was like, it was actually such a conflicting feeling that I had. I was like, I've been to the men's tour, a couple times as a spectator. And I was like, you're just spectating and it's fun to be there and whatever. But when I was at the women's race last year, I was like, it was like a punch in the chest, actually. I was like, man, I'm so thrilled to be here, to see this atmosphere, to see how electric it is, but I'm devastated that I'm not racing. Like I was like, man, this actually hurts so bad because I was racing those girls last week, like I should be there. So I'm so looking forward to experiencing that atmosphere for myself, to see my family and to like see familiar faces on the roadside. I think this is such a unique race that people are willing to travel across the world for. I mean, my brother lives in Japan, and he's flying out to be, to be with my parents and everyone the first few days. And I'm also looking forward to getting new numbers every day. I've never had that before at a stage race. You get new numbers, and I'm like trying to think of all the cool things that you could do with numbers. I'm like, I've got to sort out a routine to like save the number after every day, like keep it safe. And I don't know, think of like, cool gifts, or like, give one to my parents. They can put on their wall, keep one
Give
for
one
myself.
to a Queen Stage listener.
Yeah, we could do a little giveaway. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
In this peloton, it's a peloton full of stars. We have the greatest of the greatest. Do you ever get starstruck? When you're on, I don't know, PFP's wheel, and you're like, wow, these are the greatest of an era, not just of like, of this race, but of a generation.
Totally. Yeah. I think even from the my very first race in Europe, which was the Beanie Ladies Tour in 2018. And I remember my first stage, the first stage of that race, I ended up on Voss's wheel going through a cobbled section. The day before that was like the prologue, and I was starting right after Sanakant, and I was like, oh my God, like freaking out. My mechanic was, holding my TT bike with me. He's like, I know, like, it's Sana. We were freaking out. And then in that race, I was like, okay, Heidi, you can be starstruck for like 10 seconds. And then like, it's a bike race. Like they're racing on the same roads you're racing on. And now here we are. And like, I know it's crazy to say that, like, I know Voss knows who I am. And like we've talked to each other but I'm still so starstruck too. And I'm like, now I'm coached by Phil and Lizzie Dignan. Like I just can't believe that sometimes too. And I get starstruck, but only for a little bit. And then I'm like, all right, Heidi.
And then you got to beat him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, it's hard to do, but.
Are there any riders that like you still look up to or you want to emulate? Like if you look at the peloton, like who, if everything goes according to plan, which wheel would you want to be on?
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, of course my teammates' wheels I want to be on, but I actually love, because I know the first few stages are going to be probably pretty good for her. I love following Lily Williams. Also because we were teammates on Rally.
And what a year
year
she's having.
And she's having such a good year. I think this first stage is like, that finish is kind of similar. Maybe the climb is a little bit longer, but like kind of similar to that Giro stage she was second on, and had such a good finish. Like, I think Lily's going to be really strong at this tour. I'm excited to follow her wheel maybe. So
great.
Yeah.
If listeners can't commit to watching 9 days of racing, which stages do you want them to tune in for?
I do think the first couple stages are going to be exciting, especially the first one. Like that one, I think will be really cool to watch.
And
also
it's on Saturday, people. You have no excuse not to tune in.
Come on. Also stage 8 and 9. I think that finish, that last stage in Nice is going to be so hard. But also probably really entertaining. So I would tune in for those.
That one is interesting. So it finishes on a flat, right? So you've got those climbs and then it's got a flat finish, which means that those people that survive the climbs are going to be grouped together and they still have to have the legs to then outsprint the other. The other breakaway people. So it's an interesting circuit for sure. Which stages have you seen?
Honestly, not. I haven't seen any of them. We didn't get a chance to do any recon. But I do know, like, the Ardèche region where you have Valence and near Privas. Like, as we go down closer to Lyon, I'm familiar with that area just for having raced Ardèche so many years. So that makes me feel better having not seen anything. And I think tomorrow, we're near Lausanne, so we'll try to poke around. I'm here a day early, so it's like try to do the best I can with that. So
yeah. Besides yourself, which teammate should we keep an eye on?
Ooh, which teammate? Well, you can expect Allison to also be in some breakaways for sure. I think she's really motivated, and she's always such an entertaining bike racer. And I think Emily Morier, our former pro triathlete, who the Tour de France last year was her first road race ever. She was top 25 in the GC. She's like absurdly strong. She's come a long way. She's grown a lot this year, and she's going super well. I'm excited to see how she goes. And for the sprints, we've got a good duo with Alicia Gonzalez and Allison. And Alicia had some really good finishes in the sprints last year at the tour. So she's always so consistent. So watch for her. She's very underrated.
How many of your teammates have done the tour before?
I think 3 or 4 of us. Yeah.
So it's a pretty experienced group then going in.
Yeah. Allison's gonna go into this is gonna be her 4th tour. I know there are 3 or 4. Yeah, 3 or 4 other riders actually that have done it before. So yeah.
That's nice for you as well, being a debutant, to be able to lean on them.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Awesome. Thank you for joining me. I wish you the best of luck. I cannot wait to cheer you on.
Thanks for having me.
And that wraps up this special edition of the Queen Stage. Be sure to tune in every day, August 1st through 9th, as we cover the ins and outs of the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of our recaps. And in the meantime, be sure to find us on WhatsApp, where we have a very active community going. You can also read our banter and engage with us before, during, and after each stage. We'll drop the link in the show notes below. As always, thank you for listening, and we'll catch you on Saturday for Stage 1.